The Cutlass Black is probably one of the most versatile ships in Star Citizen and makes for a very good daily driver. So in this video, I want to share with you my favorite build for it and see how it performs in a PvE mission. For the Cutlass build here, I will go over multiple things. For example, weapons that you can swap out, what you can use instead of the weapons that I like. My favorite weapons here is NDPs. Why? Well, because their projectile speeds are pretty decent. At the moment, projectile speeds allow you to hit smaller ships pretty effectively, but the slower the weapon speed, the worse it is. So NDPs are very good. Their projectile speed is 1400, but there's other options that you can also use. Plus the alpha damage is very decent. You can damage most PvE ships. It will allow you to take on smaller ships and pretty decent size bigger ships, all the way up to a C2. But if you can't get these, then I would recommend the NN15s. You can buy these at Levski. If you use Urkel, you can just click here on this little block and go down all the way, and here you can find the shops where you can buy everything. This goes for all the components, but most of my components you will need to loot. I will give alternatives. So NN15s very good also. They keep the projectile speed, plus they can damage most ships. You can also go with attritions, which is pretty decent, but their projectile speed is very slow. For that trade-off, you get lots of damage though, so it's a give and take. I would mostly recommend running energy weapons on the Cutlass just because you get so much ammo. This is what makes the Cutlass special compared to the Shiv. The Shiv almost looks like the Cutlass. For example, here's the Shiv. It looks very similar like the Cutlass, but the Cutlass has an advantage because it gets way more ammo compared to the Shiv. But the Shiv does have lots of burst damage. Now that you know what weapons are like, let's move over to the shield here. The shield, obviously, the best shield you can get is a military A grade, the FR76. You will need to loot this. You can't buy them, but let's say you want to buy a shield, you can always buy the 7MA here, almost as good as the military shield. So you can just equip this one until you have the military one. For my power plant, also military A grade here, JS400. If you can't find this one, I would recommend the Genoa. Gives you lots of power, just 1 power per place, plus the component health difference isn't that bad. For my coolers, I always go with stealth coolers. They save your power, plus they reduce your signature. Cooling, not really that important during a fight. Plus, we get lots of cooling with 2 coolers. We can even disable one and still have more than enough. So with 2 backup coolers, we're perfectly fine. For my quantum drive, I chose the fastest one, military A grade XL1. But if you can't find one, I would recommend the Amara or the Hurricane. I prefer the Amara. For my radar, I actually went with industrial A grade. Why? Well, because it saves power. You can use 1 pip and it will power it. Whereas if you go the military version here, you'll need at least 2 pips. Here you can see the minimum range here. So industrial A 1300, only 1 power. And the minimum power for the military version is 2 power, but you get the same distance. So I would rather go with the industrial A1 here. It saves power, plus the distance isn't that bad, 1300. You probably only want to take fights when you're about 1 kilometers away, even closer sometimes, since projectile speeds can be very slow. If you have another player with you, then this ship also comes with a turret, which is very nice. The turret gets so much ammo. It can shoot for 18 seconds continuously, which is crazy damage. You can choose whatever weapon you like, but if you're solo, I would recommend to just remove the weapon to save loads of power here, or you can equip a ballistic weapon. For example, you can equip a deadbolt. You'll use a little bit more power, 1 more power, but you can use that extra power for other things. The Cutlass also comes with loads of missiles. You can swap out the missiles. I usually go with size 1 missiles. It's just very nice to have loads of them and being able to throw them out very quickly. For example, I go with a 481 missile rack. This will allow you to equip size 1 missiles. And here you can choose your missile. I usually go with electromagnetic, The arm time is only 1 second, plus they hit a little bit more consistently. But if you want the arm time to be very fast, then cross section might also work for you, but they're not as consistent. So I still prefer the task forces at the moment. I believe you get in total 48 missiles, which is crazy. In order to test the ship out, I did upgrade it completely to my favorite build. So let's go see what we can do in a gameplay session and how the Cutlass feels. With the Cutlass, you also get the VTOL, which is very nice. You can definitely use it when you're trying to outturn another ship. You can just go into VTOL and flying up will be very fast. In order to test out the build, I will be doing combat gauntlets in area 6. This will spawn a bunch of gladiuses, well, 2 gladiuses and the constellation. So a pretty decent taste for a medium ship like this. Let's go see what the Cutlass can do. I'm at my mission location here. I did set up my flare count to about 6. This should flare off most missiles, but let's quickly activate the mission here and take out the gladiuses first. Here we go, we've got our first gladius here. Let's quickly close in the distance. I'm just going to slowly strafe up and add some roll to my ship just so that I can avoid most fire as they come in. There's the constellation, so just be careful. We will probably get hit here in a minute by the constellation, but we should have quite a few shots that we can put onto the gladius here. There we go, already in range. Just gonna make sure I throw all of my damage into it. Luckily we've got so many shots that we can waste a little bit here and still make do. There we go, super easy. Currently they're not firing back though, I wonder why. There have been a lot of server problems. Hopefully some of them fight back. No damage just yet. This has been happening all week, where the ships don't fire back. Maybe the constellation will do something. Just gonna close the distance here. See if we can sit on the belly. This one is definitely fighting back. Let's see if we can sit on the belly here. Did take quite a bit of damage. We might have to leave, but I'm gonna try and get into precision mode here. Let's take out that turret. Should have enough damage to completely deal with that turret and get the front shield down. Just waiting. We are taking damage because turret is eating through our shields, but I'm hoping to get it down before we die. We're not the most squishiest target, but there we go, the turret is down. But we also don't have the most hull HP. This is a Cutlass after all. We're made out of basically tin. Now we can deal with the constellation. Because we're so maneuverable, we can just sit here forever and deal with bigger ships. This is what gives the Cutlass series such an advantage. For example, over a freelancer, we've got the maneuverability over most ships. Well, that's a little bit bigger than us. Should have it soon here. It's almost there. Just waiting for my weapons to regen. It will probably start running soon. See if we can finish it off. There we go, it's running. I'm just getting close. Technically, we don't have to be in precision mode, but we will be targeting the nose so that we can finish off the ship. Get in there. See if we can keep the shields down. And there we go. Super easy. Unfortunately, the gladiuses didn't fight back, but it is what it is. I would highly recommend the Cutlass if you're a newer player, just because it's so versatile. It's got a cargo bay, it can do lots of combat, plus it has room for a friend. Hope you enjoyed this loadout video. If you did, leave a like, and if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching.